Good morning. We'll just give folks a moment to clear the waiting room and connect to audio. As a reminder, please do remain on mute unless or until you are appearing or testifying before the entertainment division. Good morning. This is an administrative hearing before the Mayor's Office of Consumer Affairs and Licensing. Today is Wednesday, November 9th, 2022. This hearing is being conducted pursuant to certain temporary amendments to the open meeting law. That is what allows us to meet virtually. This hearing is being recorded and will be posted to the City of Boston's website. We are joined today by the Executive Director of the Mayor's Office of Consumer Affairs and Licensing, Kathleen Joyce, and Director of Operations, Rebecca Fu. I will read each item on the agenda in the order that it appears. I will then ask who is present on behalf of the licensee. I will then ask who is present on behalf of the Boston Police Department, after which I will swear in all parties. The police report will then be read into the record, followed by a statement by the licensee and questions from the Executive Director and Director of Operations. Begin with the first item on this morning's agenda, Fuentes Cleaning Services, Inc., doing business as Villares, Colombia, located at 28 Bennington Street in East Boston. Date of the incident, September 21st, 2022. Excessive noise emanating from the front door and affecting neighborhood, as well as live entertainment, consisting of disc jockey without an entertainment license. Who is present on behalf of the licensee?
Good morning, Mr. Green, Ms. Joyce, Ms. Fu. My name is Attorney John Cannell from Upton, Connell, and Devlin. I'm here for the licensee. I'm not sure, I don't see the names, but I hope I have a client there as well. If they could speak up.
Mary Quintana, I'm the manager.
Great, thank you, Ms. Quintana. Who is present on behalf of the Boston Police Department?
Officer Michael Doran.
Officer Sullivan Venezia.
Sergeant Kevin Yalmokas.
Thank you. And are there any individuals with firsthand knowledge of the alleged incident who wish to testify this morning? Thank you. And Officer Doran, is it possible to turn your camera on as well so we can swear you in prior to testimony? Wait. Officer Doran, if you're having trouble turning your visuals on, can you affirm for the entertainment division that you were raising your right hand when asked to do so?
Yes, can you see
there
me?
we go, even better.
Okay.
Can all who plan to testify on this matter please raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Who will be reading the police report into the record?
Officer Doran will.
Great, thank you. You can proceed, please.
Okay. About 1:02 a.m. on Saturday, September 29th, 2022, Officer Doran and Sullivan Venezia, while assigned to the Gold 101 Alpha, responded to a radio call for loud music being played inside of 28 Bennington Street.
Oh, wait, hang on. I'm sorry. And I don't mean to cut you off, but that is the second item. First item on the agenda, we are dealing with the September 21st.
Okay.
Incident.
I apologize.
No worries.
Sorry,
Great,
Officer Venezia, I'll read the 21st one.
Thank you.
About 12:46 a.m. Wednesday, 9/21/22, Officer Sullivan Venezia in the Gold 415 Alpha responded to a radio call for a disturbance / loud music at 28 Bennington Street, East Boston, Villares, Colombia. Assisting was Officers Pearson and Ford in the Gold 113 Alpha and Sergeant Matera, the Gold 907. Prior to arrival, officers were informed by operations via radio that the caller, who was unidentified, stated said address is not permitted to have a live DJ and is playing music at a volume over 50 decibels. Officers were aware from prior incidents that the entertainment license did not permit any DJ / live music, and there's 2 reports listed. Upon arrival, officers could hear music volume coming from the establishment from the parking lot located at 34 Bennington Street. Upon entering the licensed premise, officers observed a male standing inside an elevated platform in the rear with a headset on his head and laptop in front of him, appearing to be operating the sound system. Officer Sullivan Venezia then conducted a photograph of said male on his department-issued cell phone. Officers then approached said male, later identified as Edwin Wilfredo Carmona Ponce, who stated he was not a DJ. Officers as well observed a microphone and DJ control turntable system inside the elevated platform. Officers were then met by an employee, unidentified, who stated she would contact the owner. Officers advised the employee to turn down the music. Officers then notified the patrol supervisor, Sergeant Matera, the Gold 906 of the incident. Sergeant Matera then arrived on scene. Officers were then met by a male/suspect, later identified as Fernie Pernias, who identified himself as the owner. The suspect stated there was no DJ inside, but in fact, said male was only hired to, in quotations, control the volume of the music. Sergeant Matera then informed the suspect of what the officers observed upon entering. Officer Sullivan Venezia then showed the suspect a photograph of the male. The suspect again stated that the male was not hired as a DJ. As a result of what officers observed, Sergeant Matera issued a license inspection notice, number 060752, for the offense of excessive noise, music volume, and violation of entertainment license, providing DJ entertainment without being licensed. The suspect signed for and accepted the notice. That's it.
Thank you. Attorney Canal, would you like to address the alleged incident?
Yes, officer, can you say whether, when you were on the premise that day or that morning, whether you witnessed the individual using the microphone as a DJ would use a microphone?
That day, no, was not being used at that time.
And when you were there, did you observe this individual spinning records at this station that a DJ would normally spin records like?
No, he was just controlling his laptop.
Right, so there is no evidence that this person actually was acting as a DJ, is that correct?
In terms of the turntable, the turntables, I would say no, but in terms of controlling the music, changing the songs, changing the volume, I would say yes.
Right. Thank you, officer. I have no further questions.
Thank you. Do you have a witness you would like to present, or is that at all?
Mary, do we have the individual with us who was there that night?
I'm waiting for him. He don't come yet.
All right, well, I don't think we can wait. I have a few closing comments on this matter, and that should be it if we don't have the actual person. If that's okay.
Absolutely, go ahead.
All right, thank you. I don't believe there's any evidence that a disc jockey was present at this location. The police report identifies the person as denying that he was acting as the DJ. There was DJ equipment in this booth, but that was there for purposes of when they get one-day licenses, they use that. This equipment wasn't being used. This person was only operating the music system, which somebody has to do, which is all digital, and was not acting as a DJ. It was not live entertainment. It was recorded music. As far as the volume goes, the police did not submit any findings of decimal readings, took no decimal readings. The only decimal readings were the unidentified caller, and that does not constitute evidence of excessive noise. That's my argument.
Thank you, Executive Director Joyce or Director Fu. Any questions for the licensee or for the officers?
Yes, officer, when you arrived, did this person have headphones on, and were they standing in what looked like the DJ booth?
Yes.
Okay. And Mary, how often does this person work for you?
No, he don't work with me. He's a friend of mine, and sometimes when he go there, he, like I said, can you please put the music down, because sometimes automatic the music go up. And
Oh, so you asked this friend of yours to like control the sound?
No.
Okay. Who on that particular night, who was in charge of selecting which which songs to play.
I can answer that.
Are you
Uh,
sworn in?
Okay, sorry, you have not been sworn in yet. Could you please just identify yourself before you testify?
Hey, Ferney Periañez,
Thank you. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. You may proceed. I'm sorry, Mr. Perennies, you were.
The question, what was the question that she
So
asked?
your attorney said that this person was not acting as a DJ because they were not like putting records in and switching things around on a turntable. And then Mary said that this was just a friend of hers who she asked to control the volume. So on that particular night, I haven't been out in a long time, so I haven't seen a lot of people like put records into things in probably 20 years, but who selects the music?
It's a random music. There's a thing.
And why does the volume have to be changed by an individual who's wearing headphones in a disc jockey booth?
I don't think he was. I don't think he was wearing the headphones, but I'm not sure because I wasn't. I went to grab a coffee when I
The
came
police
back.
officer just said he was.
I wasn't. Okay, but when I came back, I asked him, "What were you doing up there? You're not supposed to be up there." And I even approached him in front of the officer, and he told the officer, "Officer, I apologize. I'm a customer here." He goes.
Okay.
He had a drink. He was not working. He just went up there because he wanted to change the song.
Does he do that often? Does he change the songs for you like every Thursday night or whatever night of the week this was?
No, not every Thursday night. No, just no.
Has he, I know you didn't have a license this night, but on the nights that you have pulled DJ licenses, is that ever his responsibility?
No, he doesn't work for it.
Really?
No, whatsoever.
I'm confused. This is September 21st, and I know you've gone to great lengths because this isn't the first time you've been before us for someone operating as a DJ without a DJ license. Was this before or after you moved the DJ booth and broke it down and came into my office and showed me that you did that?
That was before that day I took it off. That was the day I took it off.
Oh, this is that incident that you came into the office with pictures? Okay.
Because there's nothing there no more because I didn't want that
Okay.
problem. So yeah, that was that incident. That's for that I took everything off because it does look like a DJ, but he was not. And as the officer did say, there's only a laptop. I mean, you can't become a DJ with a laptop. It's only a laptop, and
Yes, I think in 2022 I see more of that than I see of like records going into a record player.
So-
As the executive director of the entertainment board in the city of Boston, it's my professional opinion that I see more DJs operating with computers than with records in record players. Officer?
Yeah, if I could just ask, I don't know if you guys can see this picture. This is the picture on my department phone. This is the laptop that I took a photograph of that night. It actually has a picture. It actually has a picture of him, and it says on it, DJ Edwin Papalita with his Instagram handle. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm sorry.
That's me.
But this was the actual laptop that he was controlling.
Okay, can you forward that to us? That's what I was
Yeah,
gonna ask.
if you could forward that to mocal, M-O-C-A-L at boston.gov, and we'll make sure we send that out to the licensee and their counsel as well.
That's what I was gonna ask. Is this friend of yours someone who's part-time or full-time job might be DJing events at other clubs?
his mom does own a bar, Carriel Bar in Chelsea, I think.
Chelsea.
Yeah.
Okay,
So he might as his part. I'm not sure.
okay.
As I said, customer of us.
All right, thank you. I don't have any other questions at this time.
Thank you, Director. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, just one question to the officers. Have you seen this individual at the booth there before on a different night?
Yes.
How many times would you say?
Numerous times. I've been working there since 2018.
Okay, thank you.
I just have,
Okay, go ahead, Lord.
I would just like to point out that recorded music, which this was, is permitted under their non-live entertainment license. I think if there's going to be any distinction in the law as to what is a DJ or not. I think DJ is somebody who performs, who speaks, who gets the patrons all riled up. I do believe, Ms. Joyce, notwithstanding your experience in the clubs of Boston, I think it's DJs are primarily entertainers, and that's why they fall under live entertainment. So I would argue that without the live entertainment here and just the recorded music, that it is not a DJ.
Okay. Back to the incident, the excessive noise. I'm just so confused. You also got written up for excessive noise, and this is what this guy's job was that night, according to you. Not his job. This is what you asked him to do, is to control the noise. And then you also got written up for excessive noise. It's so confusing to me. Maybe you should have hired someone to control that, not just relied on your friend.
There is no evidence of excessive noise other than somebody calling to complain about it. The decibel reading needs to be made by an instrument and all that, and that's just not in the report.
Okay. Officers, in their opinion, so they thought it was excessive, but I take your point that we didn't have a sound reading. So with that, you know what, Rebecca, do you have other questions?
I just wanted to mention the officers did say that they heard the music from the parking lot coming in, so it was emanating from the premise. Although a sound reading was not taken.
There's also 3 businesses there all together, so the noise could have came from one of the other places. And because if I recall, I think I stand outside with one of the officers, with 2 of the officers, and I told them, "Do you hear the music everywhere where it's coming from?" And they say, "Yeah, but they complaining is only about you, not about the other people." So I did go outside with the officers and told them, "Do you hear music coming out?" And it was from other places.
Okay.
So.
Thank you. Anything further on this incident from the Executive Director, Director Fu, Attorney Cannell, or the licensee?
No, thank you.
Thank you. The Executive Director will take this matter under advisement and will issue a written decision. Next item on this morning's agenda, Fuentes Cleaning Services, Inc., doing business as Billy Harris Columbia, located at 28 Bennington Street in East Boston. Date of the incident, September 24th, 2022. Disc jockey and live singer taking place without an entertainment license. A one-time license was issued, which permitted a live singer until 12 a.m. and disc jockey only to be used for volume control. Who is present on behalf of the licensee?
Good morning, Mr. Green. John Cannell for the licensee.
Thank you.
Mary,
Yep, and I assume that the same witnesses, Ms. Quintana and Mr. Branias.
Yes.
No, not on this. I'm out on this one.
Okay.
Yeah, if I could just point out, although Fernie wants to be helpful, he is the subject of a criminal proceeding arising out of this matter, and he's been advised by his criminal defense attorney not to testify in ancillary hearings such as this, as it could jeopardize his rights in the criminal case.
Duly noted. Thank you. And who is present on behalf of the Boston Police Department for this incident?
Officer Michael Doran.
no.
Officer Sullivan Venezia.
Sergeant Kevin Yalmokis.
Thank you very much. And are there any other individuals with firsthand knowledge of the alleged incident who wish to testify this morning? Okay, I believe you have all been sworn in. Who will be reading the police report on this incident?
Officer Michael Doran.
Great, thank you. You may please proceed.
Okay. About 1:02 a.m. on Saturday, September 24th, 2022, officers Doran and Sullivan Venezia, while assigned to the Gold 101 Alpha, responded to a radio call for loud music being played inside of 28 Bennington Street, East Boston. Due to the ongoing noise complaints with Belarus, Columbia, and 7 licensed premise violations with the 7 I numbers following that, the following officers arrived on scene: the Gold 101 Alpha, the Gold Tango 55 Alpha, the Gold 416 Alpha, and the Gold 425 Alpha. Upon arrival, officers could hear loud music as they approached the outside of Belarus, Columbia. Officers observed the front door to be shut and no windows to the establishment to be open. Officers were met with the owner, Fernie Paranis, who was attempting to delay officers from entering the establishment by blocking the front door. Officer Doran informed Paranis of the loud music complaint and then gave Paranis multiple verbal commands to move away from the door before eventually entering the establishment. As Officer Doran entered the establishment with his department issued camera on, he observed very loud music coming from a person at an elevated platform consistent with the DJ. Officer Doran also observed a person in a red dress singing into an amplified microphone. As Officer Doran attempted to make his way through the crowd, the singer and an unknown individual exited the rear door into a courtyard. Officer Doran stepped into the courtyard and observed the unknown male at the bottom of a flight of stairs, which led to a storage basement. Before descending the stairs, Officer Doran was again approached by the owner, Piranhas, who began questioning why the officers were there. Officer Doran walked around Piranhas and began descending the rear flight of the steps in an attempt to locate the person that was singing. As Officer Doran approached the bottom of the stairs, he observed the singer, Alex Hernandez, in a storage basement attempting to hide. As Officer Doran was attempting to get information and remove the party from the basement, Fernie Hernandez grabbed Officer Doran on the left shoulder and attempted to place himself between the officer and Alex Hernandez. Officer Pels, standing behind Piranhas, and Officer Doran observed that Piranhas grabbing the officer and placed him in handcuffs. Sergeant Yomokas, the Gold 909, arrived on scene and issued a violation for overcrowding for an overcrowded establishment. Officer Sullivan Venencia counted 64 occupants inside the establishment on a 49-person capacity and unlicensed live music. Sergeant Yomokas then spoke with the acting manager, Mary Quintana, who stated that she would voluntarily close the establishment for the night and vacate all the people inside in lieu of the fire department's response to the establishment. Piranhas was transported to A1, where he was booked and charged with 265-13D, assault and battery on a police officer, and 268-13B, intimidation of a police officer. That is the end of my report.
Great. Thank you very much. And Executive Director Joyce, there is another report. It's not necessarily relevant to the entertainment violation. Would you like to have it read into the record, or are you okay?
We can take it as part of the record without reading it again. I have it.
Okay, thank you. Attorney Cannell, would you like to address this alleged incident? Oh, you are currently on mute. Hang on one moment. You are still on mute. Just asked you to unmute, see if that works.
Sorry about that.
Here you go.
It kicked me out of the whole meeting there, at least what I could see. Thank you, officer. Again, going back to the DJ, did you witness this person acting as a DJ with a microphone or spinning records or doing something in the line of live entertainment, or was he up at the podium like the previous matter, perhaps controlling the audio system?
Yeah, I observed him sitting behind the same setup that Officer Sullivan Venencia stated in his earlier report.
Not to rehash that whole issue. And then with regard to the singer, did you see or witness this? This was a transgender entertainer from Colombia. Did you see her actually singing into the microphone?
Yes, I did observe her singing into the microphone.
And when you were one of the first officers to arrive there?
I was, yes.
And where was the singer?
The singer was in the middle of the bar.
And wasn't she, I don't know how much of her act that you cut, but wasn't she saying goodnight to everybody as she was leaving using that microphone and not actually singing?
Yes, she was saying, thank you, good night. Thank you, good night.
All right. Mary, I don't know if the board wants to spend the time on this, but we do have a video of the police entering and what the situation looked like. I don't know, Mary, are you capable of playing that?
Yes,
Do we know how long that is?
around,
4 segundos.
I think 24 seconds,
34.
34
I'm sorry.
seconds. I think
24. All right, if you could play that then, if that's all right, Ms. Joyce. I think it shows the officers coming in and what the scene looked like, and it also shows a very relaxed, uncrowded environment.
I have a feeling I won't be able to see it through the Zoom, but I'll see, and you can forward it to me at the office.
Yeah, that isn't gonna work for Fernie.
Dígale,
Are
so,
you,
You forward that, Bernie?
yes, dígale, yes.
Yes.
Yes, we will.
yeah, that'd make it a lot easier on all of us. But I think once you look at the video, you will see that the police entered. It's very quiet. People are sitting at their tables. There's no entertainment going on, and the police officers are looking around. And
Yes.
that's what I would argue was actually happening. Again, the two citations here are overcrowding. And by the way, officer, at what point in the night did you take the head count that qualified as overcrowding?
Mister.
¿Para quién?
Officer?
Officer Dorn, I did not take the head count.
Do you know who did?
That was Officer Sullivan Venencia.
And when did he
Sorry.
arrive at the premise?
We arrived simultaneously. We arrived together. We were working together that night.
Was the head count when you arrived different perhaps than when you left and this commotion arose over the singer being apprehended or Fernie being arrested?
Most likely, I'm sure some left after seeing what was caused from the incident. But the head count was conducted once the supervisor arrived.
Dígale, la gente vino, entró.
The people coming in.
All right, Ms. Joyce, I know once you look at the video, I think it will show this was not a crowded place. There was nobody standing. That this was not an overcrowding situation. Once there was police action there and there were several police officers and there was an arrest, people did enter. And I think that may be where the head count came in. But at this point, the people that were managing the business were essentially being arrested. So I think the visual evidence, once you see it, is that there was no live entertainment going on and there was no overcrowding. And again, we don't have any evidence of noise decibels being recorded.
Thank you.
And the thing, I'm sorry, can I talk?
Sure.
At that time, she wasn't singer. She say goodbye. The first time that I come from Colombia, thank you. I appreciate it. And thank you for the love that you give me this night. And bye. And she left. And she was in the back.
Okay, so, all right, thank you. I know she may not have been actually singing those words in a melodic way, but entertainment was supposed to cease earlier than that, meaning use of the microphone.
Yeah.
Mary, were you the manager on duty that night?
Yes.
Were you familiar with the entertainment license?
Yes.
What time did it say it had to stop?
At 12.
Okay, and Officer Duran, what time did you observe the performer saying goodbye, thank you?
About 1:02 a.m. when we
Okay.
first entered.
So can you tell me in your own words, when you walked in, how you would describe the scene? Was it calm? Was it festive? Did it look like people were leaving for the night?
No, when I first opened up the door, I got hit with a wave of loud music, and it was the singer was singing in the amplified mic at a high volume.
Okay.
No singer. Say goodbye.
Saying
She
goodbye
That time.
through the amplified mic.
Officer Duran, can you forward to the board your videos or the videos that BPD has?
Sure, I'll be able to do that.
And Mary, what time did the performer stop singing?
at 12.
Okay, so why an hour later was she saying goodbye? Why didn't she say goodbye at 12?
Because she at that time she wanted change it. After she done at 12 o'clock, she come to say hi to everybody and have a couple drinks, and then want to change. When she go to change it, she say goodbye to everybody. She took the microphone, and then that's when the police come and then go and grab the neck her.
Okay, why did she run away if she was just saying goodbye? Why'd she hide?
No, she don't run. She just go on the back door because she had the dress, the cloth for change it downstairs.
Okay,
When she
okay.
scared
That's
because
okay. It's not part of this incident. I just am trying to get a visual of the scene and whether or not she was running away from the police. I don't have any questions. Rebecca, do you have any questions for
Yep,
clarification purposes?
So Mary, you say you have a video that you would like to send us. Is this video from cameras that are installed inside the premise?
yes.
And do they record all night long?
Yes.
So is it possible for you to send us a video from say 11:30 until 1:30 a.m.?
I don't know if it's possible because I don't have like, for 1 week
clips.
clips.
Cortamos with clips.
Déjalo ahí.
We cut clips.
We cut.
Okay, can you cut us clips throughout the night and send them to us, please?
Sure.
Specifically, we're looking to see what time the performer ended and what was happening right after the performer ended. So again, this is an example how cameras can help you. So it would be helpful for you to forward that video to us.
We have those. Yeah. That's gonna help a lot.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything further, Director Joyce or Director Fu?
No, thanks.
And anything further, Attorney Cannell, or from your client?
No, thank you.
Okay, please, both Attorney Cannell and Officer Doran, any videos that the division has requested, please forward to mocal, MOCAL, @boston.gov. And with that, the Executive Director will take this matter under advisement and will issue a written decision.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling the final item on this morning's agenda, MW&W Inc. doing business as China Pearl located at 9 Tyler Street. Date of the incident, October 21st, 2022. DJ taking place without a live entertainment license. Who is present on behalf of the licensee?
Good morning, Kristen Scanlon for the licensee, and signed on with us this morning is Brian Moy, who's the owner.
Great, thank you very much. We see Mr. Moy. Who is present on behalf of the Boston Police Department?
Detective William Gallagher.
Thank you. And are there any other individuals with firsthand knowledge of the alleged incident who wish to testify this morning?
Dr. Hernandez is needed.
Thank you. Can you all please raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Sergeant Gallagher, you may please proceed with reading your report into the record.
Yes, good morning. On 10/21/2022 at 11:55 p.m., Sergeant Detective William Gallagher and Detective Eddie Hernandez, assigned to the licensed premise unit, were driving through Chinatown, monitoring the bars and restaurants when they observed the line of young-looking people waiting to enter China Pearl at 9 Tyler Street. Detectives parked their car, proceeded to the front door on foot. Detectives identified themselves as Boston Police, the doorman, and inquired as to the capacity. The doorman replied 359 and that a private event was taking place. Detectives informed the doorman that they were going to conduct a licensed premise inspection. As they entered the lobby of 9 Tyler Street, they observed all the lights leading up to the 3rd floor to be off. On the 3rd floor, detectives could hear amplified music coming from the main room, which was later discovered to be a disc jockey. Detectives asked to speak with the manager, and Mr. Ty Miller made himself known. Detectives informed Mr. Miller that it was a safety hazard to have all the stairway lights off, to turn them on immediately. Inside the main room, detectives observed many young-looking individuals that appeared to be under 21 years of age. The first 3 female detectives encountered as they stepped into the main room were observed with mixed alcohol drinks and looked to be under 21. Detectives asked for identification, and 3 females readily admitted to being under 21. 3 were identified as Paulo Melo, date of birth 12/28/2001 of Brazil; Alexandra Luzzi, 2/27/2002 of Brazil; and Martina Agostini, 10/3/2002, also of Brazil. When asked by detectives how they purchased alcohol, they produced fraudulent Colombian driver's licenses and ID cards. These licenses and IDs were confiscated by detectives and will be presented at court. The 3 underage females will be summoned into court for the fraudulent licenses and IDs, as well as persons under 21 possession of alcohol. On inspection of the premises licenses, detectives observed that China Pearl's current entertainment license did not cover disc jockey entertainment. In addition, the inspectional services certificate had expired back on May 31st, 22. All of these issues were brought to the attention of Mr. Miller. It readily appeared to detectives that the premise was conducting a rave event with the no lights, 3rd floor venue, unlicensed DJ, entertainment, and underage consumption of alcohol. Fearing for the safety of all, detectives informed Mr. Miller that the evening's event was over and to cease alcohol sales and end the DJ. Additional units from A1 arrived on scene and cleared the 3rd floor of all patrons without any problems. As a result, what detectives had observed, Sergeant Gallagher issued a license premise inspection number 058973 to China Pearl for persons under 21, possession of alcohol, unauthorized DJ entertainment, expired ISD certificate. Mr. Ty Miller signed for accepted the notice, and those are the facts for that evening.
Thank you, Sergeant. Attorney Scanlon, would you like to address the alleged incident?
Yes, please. Obviously, Madam Chair, the licensee is very well aware of the fact that they do not have DJ currently on their entertainment license. With that being said, and hope it goes without saying, this is not something that they usually provide. This was a booked private event that evening, and they're usually aware that they need to pull one-day licenses, but unfortunately, this was an oversight by the person that booked the event that evening. The event that was booked was an album release party. So while we don't deny the fact that there was an existence of a DJ in this instance for that who was playing recorded music for that album, it definitely was inaccurate to describe it as a rave event. It initially started with a dinner party first, with the music, recorded music being played afterwards for the event that was booked for this album release party. In spirit of full disclosure, they're currently working through the zoning process and have been for live entertainment. So they hopefully will properly add that, and which obviously they're looking to do for other events at this location and add that in the future. Something that will not happen again. Again, it was an oversight for a booked private event and not pulling the one-day entertainment license. That being said, Brian, I don't know if you want to add anything at this time. If not, happy to answer any questions that you might have.
I think that states pretty much the event. It was a record company with a record release for an artist. Started with a listening party that had food and less people, and then there was invites only that were allowed to come in past 11 o'clock for the album release.
Thank you, Mr. Moy. Thank you, Attorney Scanlon. Executive Director Joyce, do you have any questions for the licensee or for the officers?
Thank you, Danny. Just a couple questions. How often do you have private events here?
It varies. We did 3 last week, a birthday event, 60-year-old person. And then we did a office party under the name of York. So we do various different types of dinners, ranging from weddings to corporate dining. Currently, we are about to start holiday corporate event season. We have, in the month of December, I believe 12 currently booked. Those are all seated dinners. So they don't all have entertainment related besides background music, I would say, majority.
Okay, for like the weddings, do you pull the 1-day licenses for weddings?
Well, currently, the larger part of the business is under construction, and that is part of the reason why we're working with Attorney Scanlon to present a full entertainment license plan.
Okay. And Mr. Moy, how often, you're the manager?
I am a manager as well, yes.
How often are you there
Just
during?
for the record, he's not the named manager on
Okay.
the license. It's Patricia Moy.
Correct.
Okay.
Sorry.
So while you're not supposed to have a DJ without valid music, without a valid license, are there plans in December for any DJs at these private events?
Specifically New Year's Eve, we would like to have a 1-day permit for that, which we have not submitted yet. So I think that we're going through our calendar to contact all of the hosts and different events as we get the inquiries that come in through our website, and hopefully be able to supply a calendar of live entertainment requests.
Okay.
For one.
That would be helpful. All right, I don't have any questions. I'm gonna turn it over to Rebecca. She might have additional questions. Go through.
I don't have any further questions. Thank you.
Okay, anything further from Director Joyce or Attorney Scanlon?
Not at this time, thank you.
Thank you.
The Executive Director will take this matter under advisement and will issue a written decision. Those are all of the items before the division this morning. Thank you, everybody. That will conclude this hearing.
Thank you.